Okay, so I guess I would like to start by introducing myself. My name is Jen, and I will be your mediator today. I'm one of a few on staff here within the mediation program. And I also want to acknowledge that being here in mediation is a huge step. It's not an easy step, but it does show your commitment to solving this issue that you have right now. Quite often we see people come to mediation and feel uneasy about the process, but I will tell you that many people utilize the service. It's a completely normal way to problem solve. Everything here is confidential, so nobody's leaving here whispering about how you had to come to mediation to solve your problems because you couldn't solve them yourself. That's not what this is about. This is coming to a common ground where everybody's needs are met. We feel content with how things are. And my role as the mediator is simply to really hear your individual stories and help to facilitate the solution process. I don't make a decision, I don't judge, I don't counsel. Although in my day job I do counsel, so sometimes it's hard for me not to cross that line, but I promise I'll try and just mediate the process. If at any time either of you need a break, please just let me know. If you're hungry, thirsty, there's stuff to the side there. I find it really hard to think clearly personally when I'm hungry, so please don't be afraid to grab a snack if you need that. So I do know a little bit about why we're here today, and before I get into that, I just wanted to touch on the guidelines of today. We find it helpful to have guidelines just to keep us all accountable and just to show mutual respect for each other. So we've already touched on confidentiality. That's a big part of things. So what's said in here stays in here. Okay, this is between the three of us, more specifically between the two of you. And respecting one another enough to keep things confidential is kind of an important step of what we do here. Respect. You will each have your own time to tell me your story while the other person's speaking. Really listen to what they're saying. Try and really listen and notice how you're reacting in your body, noticing what your first reaction might be, and then remembering that you will have a turn to speak as well. So with that said, and in regards to the situation, I know that you're now divorced. I believe there's new partners as well as children. You share 2 children, if I'm correct. Yes? Okay. And your new partners also have children, from what I understand?
Yes.
Okay. I understand that there have been some travel plans made kind of in both of the new family units, and we're having some problems navigating how to make all of that work cohesively. Okay, and I've got that down. Okay. Okay, so maybe we'll start. Where do I want to start? I think we'll start with you. I guess before that, we should actually just make sure I have your names correct. Sarah, okay, and
Raphael.
Okay. So Sarah, it's always a good day when I have the correct name down. We're going to start with you, and I guess I would like to know your take on things, your feelings, anything that might be important for me to know about this process as I help guide you guys whenever you're ready.
Well, I guess to really start with, what's really going on, what my problem is that I've been planning this really special trip with the kids for 8 months with my new partner. We've had to work incredibly hard to be able to afford this. And 8 months ago, I did tell you and confirmed with you that we were going, that we'd be buying the tickets in December. Oh, sorry, late November, early December. And I, was respectful enough to ask your opinion and to make sure that you weren't planning any trips. So I really didn't want to step on any toes. I gave you the exact dates of when we wanted to go. I told you why we were going, and at the time you said that you were happy for us and that you had no plans, and that's the main thing. You actually told me that you had no plans to take the children at all at the beginning of the year. And I guess I'm extremely angry that you've gone away from what you said.
It's a little hard to hear you when you're playing the victim and you're getting shrill.
Sorry, Raphael. I'm actually just gonna ask, just to pause there. So I do want to hear what you have to say, because both your stories are very, very important. But right now it's going to be Sarah's turn, okay? And if you need a break at any moment, just let me know, okay? Okay, go ahead, Sarah.
I don't feel like I'm playing the victim. It's not as if this is the first time this has happened. A couple of years ago, if you remember, I had a trip with the kids to our special place on Quadra, and I always feel like you're trying to gain a point or something. You're trying to up me, and do, that my financial situation is a lot different to yours, and I can only do a certain amount, and I try and make this really special weekend, and then you went and upped it and, told them before we went away that you guys were going to Tofino, and you got this big cabin, and that was a week after I took them, and I just felt like you could have waited. You're just trying to be the better parent, and I felt really hurt, and so that's why I really needed this sorted, because it's happening again. You have booked, as Jen, I'm not sure if you knew Jen, but Raphael's booked a holiday 2 weeks before mine, okay, and it is to Disneyland. And you just told me this a couple of days ago, that this is what you're planning, this is what you're doing. You didn't even ask me. You just said, this is what we're doing, this is what we're planning. And I was respectful enough to tell you 8 months ago what my plan was, and you said back then that you weren't doing anything. And now you come up with this, and it's Disneyland? I mean, it's Disneyland. Come on, you must know how that must make me feel. When you do that, I feel really disappointed.
Okay, so let's just respect that Sarah's speaking right now, and is it getting too elevated for you? Would we like to just take a breath?
Come on.
Well, can you? I just need to understand. Maybe you forgot that Disneyland was something we had always planned to do together.
You're right. That it's not my fault that you left. So.
Okay. We both. We divorced respectfully and together. We both left, okay? We planned that out. Let's not bring that into it, because
Fair enough.
Right?
Fair enough.
I mean, you have to agree. I don't know what's happened really. I feel like we divorced really well, and now things have just got worse.
Okay, so Sarah, kind of what I hear you saying is, I hear a lot of frustration. I hear some confusion. I think I also hear some hurt in there.
I am hurt.
Okay, and I think I heard you say you feel like Raphael's trying to one-up you.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say at this point, or can we?
I'm trying very hard not to bring past history into this.
Okay.
And the reason why I want to sort this out was because I feel like this has happened before, and I don't want it to happen again. So that's the only reason why I brought up that 2 years ago. But I don't want to bring up any other history. Like, I want to move on. You
Okay.
know, I want to figure this out. So I guess that's the last thing I want to say.
Okay. Well, and I think being here is a good place to start. So I've heard from Sarah, and I would really like to hear your side of things, Raphael. If you,
Oh, I'm allowed to speak now?
yes, thank you.
Well, thank you. First of all, if you don't want to talk about the past, don't bring the past. Here, you know what happens when we both continue to blame each other, and that just doesn't work for me. As for the trip, as a man, I shouldn't have to ask permission from you to take my children somewhere. I make more money, and I want to do nice things for my children. So that's where I feel. I mean, you know, maybe it's not good timing for you to have the children go on a better trip a couple days after you leave or before you leave. I'm not sure, you know, quite on the dates because you've changed them a couple times. But
I just want to say that I actually gave you the dates too 8 months ago, and the dates have not changed.
Okay. Okay.
They have not changed. And
You're gonna have another chance to speak, okay? We're just gonna hear Raphael's. Thank you.
may I?
yeah,
When you're ready.
Okay. Anyways, I mean, I don't quite understand why you're so upset. The children get to go on 2 trips. They get to miss school. They get to go to New Mexico and Disneyland. I'm just not quite, you know, getting why you would be so upset that our children get to go on these trips. It just something just doesn't click for me why you would be upset. And as for one-upping you, I think that's ridiculous that you would feel that way. A mother is a mother and a father is a father. There's no competition. I just, you know, I don't get it.
Okay. So what I'm really hearing you say is you're quite confused with how Sarah's reacting to this, and
I mean, I thought she would be happy that the children get to go to Disneyland. I mean, it's not like we can go together.
okay. So I'm also sensing a lot of anger as you're talking. So
Oh, I'm not angry at all. I am not angry.
okay.
I mean, just because I'm a man, again, you probably think that about me, because I'm a man, but there's no anger here, just I don't get it.
Okay. So there's
I mean,
some
we're
confusion
gonna,
and you're not really
you know.
understanding. Okay. So we're gonna just take a small pause here, and we're gonna take a big breath. I'd really like to try not to use generalizations or blanket statements here, just a lot of I language. So when you're feeling something, it's I feel this. Okay, I would really like to kind of stay away from blaming, you language, that sort of thing, and just being accountable for our own feelings. So, Sarah, having heard what Raphael has said, how does that make you feel?
well, I would like to remind you about our divorce agreement and how you are the father of the children, obviously, but you do not have permission just to take them and not ask me. That was part of our agreement, you know. And if we need to bring that back up again to go over it, but you actually cannot take the children without asking me. That's what we agreed. And, you know, I guess we haven't really detailed about holidays, and it's not the trip. Okay, I really want you to realize that it's not, even though it does hurt that you're taking them to Disneyland. I mean, it could be anywhere, but you chose Disneyland, but whatever. It's not really that you're taking them. It's the fact that you decided this after me, and you didn't take in consideration how I might feel. You didn't ask. You know, I don't care that they're missing more school, but maybe you could have said, hey, like I did, hey, I'm thinking of doing this. I would like to take them in January. Acknowledge that I was taking them away. You didn't even do that. You just said, this is what we're doing over text message. This is a big thing. It's a conversation that we should have had. I feel like we could have got together and discussed over the phone. If you acknowledged that I was taking them away and how much I've worked towards that. Like, I know it's easy for you just to make these quick decisions, but it's not for me. And that's why I took the time. And I need accountability. I need the acknowledgement of that. And I don't feel it. And that's why I feel like you're trying to, up the game on me, one up me. And that's why, because you just keep making these like really big decisions without asking me. And you're right, they're our children. They're not yours. They're not just mine. They're ours.
Okay. So I'm hearing you say what you need, which is really powerful. What I heard you say was that you would like Raphael to kind of take accountability for not asking what your feelings were prior to deciding to take the kids on a trip.
Yeah, just to realize how hard it was, and to take that into account.
Okay.
My financial abilities and why it takes me so long to plan and say.
You've always planned ahead, and I've always done things spur of the moment. And that was one of the things I appreciated about you, is that you were able to plan. However, I think that you're still playing a little blame game. I'll let you have that. That's fine. I still disagree with having to ask permission. I would like to maybe restate that and say, have just a discussion, because we're both adults. We don't need to ask permission.
I can see that. I can understand that.
So can we agree that instead of saying to each other we're asking permission to do something in the future, that we just get together and have a discussion about this?
Yes.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So having a discussion in person is what I'm hearing would work best for you? So,
definitely. I would much prefer that than a text message.
So big decisions involving the children in the future will be discussed in person? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, before any plans are made. Have you actually booked the tickets?
No, I haven't. And so I'll tell you right now, you getting all, with all due respect, uptight and shrill about it, you could have asked me this in the very beginning. No, I haven't bought tickets.
Okay. So just a reminder that as we're expressing our feelings, we don't want to be downplaying others' feelings. So your feelings are valid, Raphael, but as are Sarah's. Okay?
I don't like it when you say that I'm being shrill or over-exaggerating or getting uptight, because I feel justified in how I feel.
And that's fine, but
I'm allowed to feel upset about the decision you made not to discuss with me.
Well, if you would have taken out the time instead of jumping to conclusions, maybe I'll say that instead, or making assumptions.
Yeah, that's a better way of
you didn't even ask me if the tickets were booked. So, I'm,
well, you didn't.
I get, if I can speak, I get uncomfortable in situations like this. I prefer this to be over with. And so if we can just come to a conclusion, something that we can agree on so that this can be over.
Well, I would really like it if you could try and change your times for later on, maybe spring break. And then maybe we should look over the divorce agreement again and maybe add in something about holidays. Maybe, we take it in turns 1 year or something like that. We have another discussion about holidays, because this hasn't really been a thing that we've done yet. So that's what I would really like. Again, I don't care where you're going. I really don't. I just want to be acknowledged, I guess.
So it sounds to me, Sarah, that you would be comfortable if Raphael perhaps planned his trip for spring break instead of in January. Mm-hmm. And you're tabling the idea of amending your divorce agreement to include stipulations around holidays.
Yep.
And Any insight on that, Raphael?
Well, it sounds like I'm the one who has to, do the changing.
I've already booked my tickets. As you knew that I was going
and
you knew I was going to book the tickets, and I booked the tickets, and you haven't yet, so, just put it off.
I thought this was a respectful place, and this is why I want this to end. I'll agree to anything that you say. You keep interrupting me, and I don't appreciate that. So yes, I'll change to spring break. I think that would work better in the long run for both of us. And any changes you want in the divorce, you can contact my lawyer, and we can go from there. I appreciate what you said, and I really do apologize that I made you feel disrespected, or I made you feel that I'm trying to one-up you. That's not the case. And I do apologize for making you feel that way.
I do just want to make sure, though, that you are getting your needs met as well. I heard you say that I'm just going to give you what you want, and we don't want anybody leaving here feeling resentful or anger. We want both of you to be happy. So, and if not happy, at least content with the decisions that are made. So, Sarah, you've asked that perhaps Raphael book his trip for spring break. If he's going to give you that, is there something that you need in return?
I just, throughout this divorce, I just feel that I'm a person that is always to blame. And I just really ask you to consider, your part in some of these things, and stop trying to make me look like the bad guy. It's really hard on me when you do that. And I'm willing to be amicable with you, change the dates, change the divorce, but I just ask for some respect coming from you. Is what I feel has been lacking.
I feel like this is the first time in the session that you've actually opened up to me, and I really appreciate that. I know this is hard, and that my intention today was not to make you feel like the bad guy. It really wasn't. I'm really glad that you were able to say that to me right now, because that means a lot. I feel like we haven't been able to communicate. That means a lot.
Well, don't go crying on me now.
I'm just really glad you said that, and I'm sorry. That was not my intention. You're not the bad guy. You're a wonderful father. It's not about the trip. It's really just that I felt disrespected, and and it would be great. Thank you for changing the dates. That would make me feel a bit better. I'm going to tell the kids sooner rather than at Christmas, so you can tell the kids whenever you want. And
I would probably wait till Christmas to tell them. I think that it would be more excitement for them.
Sure.
I'm not going to tell the children anything. I will respectfully leave that up to you. I think it would be better at Christmas if you told them.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
as long as you don't tell them about
no, of course. Yeah.
Disneyland.
Yeah.
I really want to commend you both on working through this. It definitely isn't easy, especially when there's a history of a relationship. I'm quite proud of both of you, actually. We had some speed bumps there, but it was definitely a good process. Just to reiterate, Raphael will be booking his trip for over spring break. Sarah, you're going to wait until Christmas to tell the kids because that's their big surprise. We will be meeting again to finalize some amendments to the divorce. So I'll ask that you both start thinking about what maybe the wording should be there, and then I'll see you both back here the next time we meet. We feel good?
Yeah, I feel much better here.
Okay.
Thanks.